This video is an overview of the Power Fantasy timeline, introducing the major states and empires, and the characters whose decisions shape their history. In this world, the main area of conflict is the region known as Xianzhou, the Central Plains. With a temperate climate and lush, fertile fields, to warlords and rulers it's an attractive object of conquest. At the timeline's inception, this region lies firmly under the control of the Ming Empire. However, at the start of the 3200s, a devastating civil war would bring the empire to its knees. This war would end with the death of the reigning emperor Jiao Shi, and the fracturing of the Ming state into a myriad of competing factions. This period would come to be known as the Five Kingdoms era, and would be characterized by the collapse of centralized administration and the rise of powerful warlords taking advantage of the chaos. This period also saw the spread of the Xianzhou epidemics, a series of widespread diseases that tore across the land, decimating the population. The main competing states at this time were those of Jiao, Zhou, Ke, Dai, and Shumei, with Jiao eventually coming to dominate in the later stages, under the leadership of Yi Shen, a general turned warlord loyal to the late Jiao Shi. The final Ming emperor, Xiao Chen, would flee to the south with his government, abandoning his capital as the tide of the war turned against him. He would not evade for long, however, and it was atop his slaughtered corpse that Yi Shen would claim divine right over Xianzhou. As all this was happening to the north, one among the nomads was gaining significant power in the steppe. Liu Gadai, succeeding his father, Mogadai, would continue his progenitor's work and unite the different nomadic houses under his banner, eventually forming the Khan Empire. Under his rule, the Khan would ride down into the Central Plains, subsuming the competing states under the control of the new empire. His lightning conquest of the weakened Five Kingdom states would be completed in the decades concluding the 3200s, as he eliminated the last of his opposition. This time also saw the first practical application of gunpowder in warfare, in the form of fire lances and arrows, although not in a capacity that could challenge the dominance of nomadic cavalry. The Khan Empire would grow to become far larger than the Ming Empire ever was, reaching its territorial peak under the rule of Liu Gadai's son, Enkidai, and overseeing a period of relative stability and economic prosperity. However, in the opening half of the 3300s, while leading an invasion against the southern kingdoms, Enkidai died on campaign, instigating a succession crisis that would once again see the plains divided. As none of Enkidai's children had yet come of age, the decision was made to institute the Empress Dowager as regent, a decision that would go on to cause outrage among the many ambitious rival heirs and generals. Many of these had been granted land as rewards for their service to the empire, giving them the power to set into motion machinations of their own. The first state to split from the Khan Empire was Hanbei, under the control of Liu Gadai's third son, Koroji. In close succession, many other factions would break away in the south and east of the Central Plains, further diminishing the power of the Khan establishment. These factions immediately began engaging in small war actions, bringing surrounding regions under their control and forming alliances where they could. Eventually, the ones to come out on top, and the states that would define the subsequent centuries, were Shuzai, Hanbei, and Yuan. This following era would once again see the Central Plains descend into a state of war. It was this time that would see rise to prominent mercenary companies, and the maturation of gunpowder weaponry to the point of changing warfare. While the successor states Shuzai, Hanbei, and Yuan all claimed to be the rightful inheritors of its territory, the Khan Empire itself would cease to exist in the opening decades of the 3400s. Meanwhile, the northern nation of Dao would rise to prominence in this period, resisting multiple large-scale incursions from Hanbei. Though previously sparsely populated, it had grown rapidly under Khan imperial influence due to its abundance of precious ore deposits. By the time of it becoming independent, it had developed into a center of high-quality metalworking, making it a prime target for conquering. Eventually, the state to reunify the plains would be Shuzai, ushering in another era of stability in the 3600s. Whether this would last would be a question for future generations. In future videos I make, I'd like to go into much more detail on everything I mentioned in this one, so I hope you watch my next releases if you found this interesting. If you'd like to support the channel further and allow me to keep making art and dedicating my time to making videos, I recently started a Patreon, which is linked in the video description. There you can also find the link to my Discord server, if you'd like to talk with both me and all the other awesome people who've joined already. The channel has grown substantially recently, which has been amazing to see, so I'd like to thank everyone who's taken the time to watch and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.